Bienvenidos and welcome back to Puro Pinche Gol, place we discuss all things Usmnt y la sección mexicana. My name is Adrian. Joining me once again my cousin Tocayo, Adrian. Adrian, what's good, man?
Hey, what's up, dude? Nothing much over here. This is the. I know people are gonna be maybe wondering why I'm wearing the same shirt, but it's because we're doing 3 episodes on the same day. So things might change when you see this. But no, I've showered today, and I'm just we are just doing 3 episodes on a row because you're gonna be busy.
Yeah, just you guys, I don't know if PPG Nation knows, but I'm moving this week, so I'm actually in the process of moving. So we're getting our house this week, so busy week. So that's why we're recording all these episodes at once. But yeah, this is the preview episode for the upcoming matches, friendly matches against Canada and New Zealand for the USMNT. The USMNT has now officially named their roster for those September friendlies. I guess the camp has started. Players are in from Europe. And Mikey Varas, Chilean American guy, is serving as the interim head coach for these two friendlies. His preferred formation is 4-3-3, just like Berhalter's was. So we probably won't see a lot of changes in terms of. There'll be a lot of familiarity in terms of the formation and lineup. So quickly, some news here: reports coming out that Pochettino's situation with Chelsea has been resolved, and that he will be announced officially on Wednesday, September 4th. Take that with a grain of salt, but it's looking likely. But yeah, the roster for the September friendlies. Adrian, why don't you kind of go through that list for us, bro?
Let's go. Get goalkeepers. We have Eden Horvath from Cardiff City, Diego Cohen from Barcelona 2, Patrick Schulte from Columbus Crew, Matt Turner from Crystal Palace. 4 keepers. That's a lot. Defenders. We have 8 defenders. Austin Trusty from Celtic, Marlon Fossey from Standard Liège, Christopher Lund from Palermo, Mark McKenzie from Toulouse, Tim Bream from Charlotte FC, Chris Richards from Crystal Palace, Joe Scally from Borussia Mönchengladbach, and Caleb Wiley from Strasbourg. I think it's a league on team, if I'm not mistaken. Midfielders, we have Johnny Cardoso from Real Betis, Luca de la Torre from Celta de Vigo, Aidan Morris from Middlesbrough, Yunus Musa from AC Milan, Gioreyna from Borussia Dortmund, and Malik Tillman from PSV Eindhoven. And then as last, we have forwards, Brandon Aronson from Leeds United, Folarin Balogun, the gun from Monaco, Ricardo Pepi from PSV Eindhoven, Christian Pulisic from AC Milan, Josh Sargent from Norwich City, and Hajiwright there to Haji from Coventry City.
Yeah, so I think for the most part, USMNT fans will be pleased with this roster. I mean, obviously we still have. I think the big question mark now for a lot of these guys is goalkeepers. Who's going to be the goalkeeper 2026? Matt Turner's not playing. Ethan Horvath plays on occasion. The Cocken up and coming Barcelona too, but obviously still just 18-year-old. And Patrick Schulte, who had a good decent Olympics. But who's going to take that spot? Do you go with somebody young, and do you start implementing them now to get them ready for the World Cup? If so, why isn't Gaga here? And or do you stick with Matt Turner and just pray that he doesn't have one of his Matt Turnerisms there in the World Cup? So interesting there for goalkeeper. I think the most exciting here for defenders, man, for the roster is the defenders. I'm a big fan of finally calling up the Standard Liège player Marlon Fossey, the right back. Mark McKenzie, who we've been a fan of, who now plays in Toulouse in France, deserved lineup. I think the big question mark here is Tim Ream. I thought we were going to be moving on from him. Especially now that he's back in MLS, but I guess he's still going to be called up. And then Caleb Wiley, who's been, who moved to Chelsea recently and is on loan with Strasbourg, who recently got an assist in France. So a lot of talent there, a lot of squad depth, especially if you take into consideration, like Carter Vickers wasn't called up, and Dest wasn't called up. So definitely a lot of, like we said, a lot of depth there. Midfielders, Adrian, I think it's the same, that we've come to see before, minus Adams.
And
kind of also.
Mckennie.
And Mckennie, yeah, you're right. Mckennie, who is still at Juventus, kind of re-assimilating, working his way back into that roster like he's had to do time and time again, right? I think for these two matches, it'll be interesting. We see Aidan Morrison there if the USMNT gives some time to Johnny Cardoso and Gioreyna, who usually uses this USMNT camp as a time to get much needed play time. Forwards, I think he brought a lot of number 9s for him. Balogun, Ricardo Pepi, Hajiwright, Josh Sargent. Really the position that has always been a question mark for the USMNT in the last couple of years and still remains a question mark. Josh Sargent playing very well. Fuller and Balogun playing not so well. Hajiwright kind of in the middle. Ricardo Pepi still limited after being benched by De Jong, right? I mean, still. Yeah. So forwards that we're all familiar with, and I think USMNT fans will kind of have a know what to expect from these forwards. But another one, real quick, that I forgot to mention, Jedi Robinson is also not
Oh
called up.
yeah,
Right,
is he injured?
he is not injured, but I think they're just giving him some rest for these matches.
Gotcha. That is true. Yeah, because I was wondering. Well, normally, he's normally the right back, right? No
Yeah,
mistake.
left back. Yep.
Left back. Sorry. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I was gonna. It didn't cross my mind until you mentioned it, and I thought that something was missing, but I kept on thinking about Tyler Adams, who got
And
surgery
way,
and
yeah.
stuff out.
Yep.
Yeah, and Tim Boya, but yeah. All right.
Yep. So yeah, it would be interesting to see a lot of these like right back, left back guys that are coming in to kind of get a chance, right? Marlon Fossey,
Yeah.
Caleb Wiley, Scally, so Christopher Lund. Um, but yeah, man, September friendlies against Canada, September 7th, Saturday, and then they wrap up Tuesday against September 10th. Funnily enough, they're playing the same teams that Mexico's playing, just in way smaller stadiums. They're playing Children's Mercy Park in Kansas City against Canada, and then in Cincinnati, Ohio against New Zealand on Tuesday. Yeah, man, can you let us know how Usmnt stacks up head to head against New Zealand and Canada?
Yeah, so the Usmnt against New Zealand, they have won 2 matches, drawn one, and lost none over the last. I guess I don't know how many matches they have played together, but the last 3 that we were able to find goes back all the way to 1999, where the US defeated New Zealand in a FIFA Confederations Cup. 2003, the US defeated 2-1 New Zealand in an international friendly, and the last time they both faced each other was in October of 2016. They draw 1-1. And I think London was still playing back then, 2016. At least the Deuce was.
The Deuce was not
Yeah.
Landon.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
But yeah,
he was
and of
probably
course,
still
like
with Puebla, or who do you go with? Leon.
Leon. Yeah, exactly. So it's been a while since the USMNT faced against New Zealand. But I don't blame it. I wouldn't play New Zealand if it, I guess if if you have to fulfill Zoom contract, you play against New Zealand, but it's not on top of my list to play against. Anyways, against Canada, they have way more history, right? They have won 20 matches, drawn 11, and lost 11 over the last. I'm going to say the last 6 matches we have in 2019. The US won 4-1 in a CONCACAF Nations League. 2021, the US won 1-0 CONCACAF Gold Cup. 2021 September, they draw 1-1 in a FIFA World Cup qualifying. They lost on January 2022, shortly after the World Cup, right? No, shortly on the year of the World Cup. My
The
bad.
year
So
before
yeah,
qualifying,
exactly.
qualifying.
Qualifying for the World Cup, they lost 2-0 in Canada. June 18th to 2023 for the Nations League, the US won 2-0, and then July 2023 for the CONCACAF Gold Cup, they tied, but the US moved on. I believe in penalties, right? Because it says here that they won, but it's a tie. So I'm assuming there must have been some penalty shoots.
Yeah, the one thing that stood out from these 6 matches you went over here was, man, the Nations League has already been around for 5 years, since 2019.
Right.
That's
It
crazy.
doesn't feel that long.
All right. But a potential lineup, man, for these matches, like we said, Varas likes to play that 4-3-3. I think he's going to stick with Turner. I would like to see him give the chance to Schulte, even Calkin, just to get him kind of wrapped further into the USMNT. Obviously, he'll still be able to transfer. I mean, if he would like to, but that at least gets him a cap with the senior team. But I think Turner will be number 1 there. Left back, Christopher Lund. Center backs, the 2 that are kind of most familiar, Reams and Richards. And right back, Joe Scally. In the midfield, I think he'll play a conservative Musa Cardoso and Reina. And then up top, Pulisic, Balogun, and Aronson. Aronson being kind of the question mark there. He's been playing decent for Leeds at the start of the season. But we know that Hajiwright can also play that position. Same with Josh Sargent.
Yeah.
So a squad that has a lot of interesting newcomers, new faces that I think a lot of fans are happy to see. But I think that the main thing that fans wanted here was the announcement of Pochettino, and hopefully see Pochettino coach these 2 matches. He won't be coaching them, but hopefully we get that official announcement soon.
Hopefully, yeah.
Prediction time. I'll give my predictions here. I think USMNT takes the match against New Zealand 2-0, and I see a tie in the USMNT's future against Canada 1-1. So similar to kind of our predictions to Mexico. I think we said they would beat New Zealand and tie with Canada as well. Yeah, I mean, should be interesting matches to at least see. Hopefully, some new players for the USMNT.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's a little not necessarily annoying, but just not so great with the fact that they all have qualified to the next World Cup, right? And they have to stick to whoever is available, and so they have to measure themselves against the US, Canada, or Mexico, right? So yeah, to your point, it's nice that we have this friendly so we can see more talent, but it's not necessarily a good challenge to prep for the World Cup. Yeah.
And I think the only two, just a quick fact, MLS players here, or not European-based players here, are Patrick Schulte, the goalkeeper for Columbus Crew, and now Tim Ream, right, with Charlotte.
Yeah, with Charlotte.
Everybody else based in Europe, with a lot of them playing championship football now. And, we have obviously the duo from PSV. And, it would be an interesting roster. And I think we could learn a lot from these two matches. But, Adrian, as we wrap up this episode, bro, where can listeners find us, dude?
They can always find us on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, hit like button, and turn on the notifications. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast on. Last but not least, you can also find us on Instagram and TikTok. We post memes, latest news, and shorts of our episodes.
Yeah, so be sure to follow us in your preferred social media platform of choice, and let us know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this roster? What are your score predictions for these matches? Are you excited to see any of these new up-and-comers for the Usmnt? A lot of youngsters here that are going to get, hopefully, looked at for the first time here. So let us know who you're most excited to see, and what were your shock omissions and inclusions here? Definitely let us know in the comments below. Hey, man, another good episode. See you in the next one, bro.
Take it easy, my friend.
See ya.
Deuce.